Hi, welcome to this quick introduction video on the Canonical Logging, Monitoring, and Alerting stack. My name is David Cornell, and it is my pleasure today to walk you through the different components of our LMA solution. The Canonical LMA stack is composed of services and agents. You can see from this logical diagram that the LMA stack is really composed of three different components. The logging component is composed of the Graylog and Elasticsearch services, who are populated by the FileBeat agent running on the nodes of the cloud. The monitoring component is composed of the Prometheus and Grafana services, who get their data from the Telegraph agent. And finally, the alerting service is composed of Nagios, who gets its data from the NRPE agents running on the nodes. We also have the Systems Management Solution Landscape, as well as Canonical Life Patch that provides kernel life patches to running systems. We'll go over all of these components in the next minutes together. I have already deployed a Kubernetes cloud in AWS, along with the LMA stack components. Running Juju status will show me the status of all the units and applications in this Kubernetes cloud and will allow me to get the information I need to connect to each of these LMA components. Let's start with Grafana. I can see that Grafana is running on this public IP address on port 3000. After connecting to Grafana, you can access the dashboards. Let's take, for example, the Charm Kubernetes dashboard here. And let's go ahead and select the last 1 hour, and we can have a good overview of the Kubernetes status. We can take a look at the Kubernetes master idle CPU for both masters. There's 2 masters running in this cloud, so we see one graph for each one. I also have 3 workers in this Kubernetes cloud, so we can see the idle CPU of the 3 workers in this graph. We also have other information such as the pod's CPU usage for all the pods that are running on my machine, and the same thing with the pod's memory usage. We can also see metrics from the other units running in this cluster, such as load and CPU. Let's switch over to Graylog. My Graylog application is exposed via reverse proxy through the Apache 2 unit, so I'm going to grab the public IP address for the Apache 2 unit here. And we're greeted with the Graylog welcome screen. Let's click on search, and let's select the last 1 hour. And just to get an idea of the activity in our cluster, let's go ahead and search for star. We can get a quick overview of the amounts of logs that are generated in this Kubernetes environment. And from there we can dig deeper and, for example, select one log entry. And let's say we want to dive into the host Kubernetes master 0, we can add it to the filter. And if we search for that, we see the logs that are only from the Kubernetes master 0 host. And from here, we could say that we are more interested in the logs from, let's say, 2030 to 2045, and search again. And we could say, just show us messages that match the word allow in it, and dig down deeper like this. By clicking on the Sources tab, we can quickly see which hosts generate the most log activity. Let's move on to Nagios. In Tactical Overview, you can have a quick look at how many hosts are down, up, unreachable, and how many services are critical, okay, or pending. You can click on the host groups to get a list of the hosts arranged in host groups. Going in one of the hosts, we could see that right now all the checks are green except one, which is a mention about swap having 0% free. Maybe we're already aware of this and we want to acknowledge this error. So if we click on it, we can acknowledge the service problem and say that there is a maintenance currently in progress, which will add a comment specifying that this critical service is currently acknowledged. Moving on to landscape. My landscape is exposed through an HA proxy unit, so I'm grabbing the IP address of the landscape HA proxy. From the landscape interface, we can take a look at the computers that are currently connected to landscape in this Kubernetes cloud. Selecting one randomly, I can have more information about the computer. We can see that it's an Ubuntu 18.04.4 LTS system. This is an instance in AWS, so we can see that it's a C4.large instance and get more information about the computer. One very popular use case for landscape is managing package upgrades. So let's go ahead and create a quick upgrade profile that will do just that. So from here we can add an upgrade profile and call it patch every let's say Saturday. We will go ahead and select only Saturday and keep this time of 21:15 and say that we want to randomize the delivery of this upgrade over a, let's say, 15-minute window so that not all computers start their upgrade process at exactly the same time. I could create a tag for this upgrade profile and then associate that tag to the computers that I want. But instead, we'll go ahead and select all computers so that this upgrade profile applies to all the computers in this cloud. And just like that, we are making sure that the 19 computers in my Kubernetes cloud will be updated every Saturday with package upgrades. And finally, we'll take a look at Canonical Live Patch. Canonical Live Patch is managed through the command line. So in order to see the status of a Live Patch client, we need to SSH to one of the Canonical Live Patch clients. Checking the health of a Canonical Live Patch client is as easy as typing Canonical Live Patch status, and we can add verbose to get a little bit more information. We see here that the server check-in has succeeded, but that there are no live patches currently available for this kernel. So this means that I am protected against known critical and high security issues. Since this is a freshly deployed Kubernetes cloud, there's no security issues that are currently affecting this recent kernel. But if there were, we would see here in this patch state the list of live patches that are applied to fix the CVEs that affect this kernel. So we saw that with the Canonical LMA stack, we can easily use Juju deployed Grafana, Graylog, Nagios, as well as Landscape and Canonical Live Patch to enable logging, monitoring, and alerting for cloud environments like Kubernetes. Thank you for watching this video.